we are going to talk about love. Beautiful topic, right? We are going to discuss what is relationship trauma, what is actual wound of attachment, right? We are going to discuss about blame shifting. We are going to talk about responsibility and actually healing in relationships. Let's begin, right? First question, what do you think love is? Because this question alone will tell you so much that you need to know about yourself. How do you perceive love? What do you think love is? Because unless you have answered this question, no relationship will last. You will keep jumping on, flipping on from person to person, and nothing will actually last because we are still not sure about what relationships are. Is love and relationship exactly the same thing, or is there a difference, right? So when we truly talk about love, how we associate love, right? We humans, how we associate love is often as a transactional attachment. Why do I say transactional attachment, right? Because we feel love, right? We experience this love through a conditional bias, right? Since childhood, we have seen a familiar kind of love. Something that we actually call love is not truly love, right? The care, the misinterpretation of that care in the childhood or absence of that care, right? That is what we think love is. When we feel supported a certain way, we think that love is, right? But is that truly love? Because let's say the true, right? The true self, the true love, when we talk about the supreme, when we talk about God, when we talk about the real love, we actually don't assign any attributes to it. And we cannot, because our supreme, our truth, right? Like God is beyond any attributes, because a God that has attributes is still time bound. So the real love happens without attributes. That love itself is sufficient. Itself is an attribute, right? There are no other attributes, factors needed for this kind of love, and that is pure love. And for that, the presence, the absence does not matter. That love itself is so powerful. That love itself is so powerful that it will fulfill itself. There is no need of any manifestation. There is no need of a presence or an absence. Nothing matters. That love itself is sufficient. That is love. That is love. And everything else that you talk about here, I'm not negating it. I'm not saying that, oh my God, you don't love your children. Right? I'm not saying, oh, you don't love your spouse, not love your family, nothing like that. But this is just a transactional attachment that we misinterpret as love. This is duty, and duty is beautiful. Relationships, right? Marriages, they are built on duties, and duties are beautiful. But would we really say that love comes and goes? No, we feel annoyed, but love does not come and go. That is a state. That is a state to be in. And we as humans, we touch that state and we come back sometimes, right? Why? Because we are humans, right? We are not perfect. So we touch that state and we come back. But when we cling on to relationships, when we talk about attachment wounds, right? When we talk about so-and-so person did this to me, how do I live without somebody? Now, this is not actually love. I need you to actually reflect on this. This is not love. Because maybe somebody made you feel that love inside yourself. And you're feeling that. And instead of understanding that here is the source is here, right? The beauty is here. Instead of understanding that, you have actually familiarized yourself once again, like in childhood, once again, to an external. Now this understanding of love, of receiving this pleasure, you have again associated it with somebody on the external. But is love on the external? Can love actually ever be on the external? No. Why? Because it's here, right here. Inside you, inside me, inside everybody else. Because it's ours. I mean, that is us, right? We are that. I am that. So every time when we talk about relational wounds, they do exist. When we talk about attachment, it does exist, yes. But this renaming, this understanding of what actual love is, actually helps us develop as humans. If you keep believing that this attachment, this transactional attachment that you have experienced, oh, this is love, and I'm never going to find it again, right? Because this is left with that person, like the person left, the love left, but that is not true. That person maybe just helped you open this door, open this path within yourself, right? That made you experience that love that is all yours, that is all mine, that is all ours. That is our true nature, that is our true self. That is where we truly live. And anything that is not it is not us. That's not our true self. And of course, as humans, we touch it, we come down. We touch it, we come down. Right? Because obviously we are going to keep shifting. As long as we are in the body, we are shifting, constantly shifting, right? This body makes us shift. This mind makes us shift. But this understanding that that person, that love is not on the external with somebody. It's here. It's within everybody. That really helps us understand the nature of relationships. Relationships are not just about love. They're more about duty. In relationships, you will see two parts, right? You will attract somebody. Again, we are talking about the concept of bait. When you send us bait, you're going to hunt something, right? Whoever is attracted to your bait, you're going to hunt that person. Now, this hunt that you have found, right, eventually after the gratification has left you, right, what is going to happen? You're going to see your bait in the mirror. It's going to show you what you are, what you deeply believe about yourself, what you deeply believe about yourself, how you receive love, what you think is love, right? This is conditional, by the way, because true love, as we just discussed, is all supreme. That is He. But this earthly love that we talk about as love, this assumed, right, perception of love, that is your childhood wounds. Now this bait that you send, after a while, right, after the initial attraction has died off, it's going to show you, oh my God, see, this is you, this is what you truly crave deep down. And either you can repel it, you can run away, or you can actually sit with it and nurture that part of yourself, right? Because love is here. Use this information that love is here. Use that stimulus, that external trigger, to not associate the word love with it, but rather to understand that that was just a trigger, a stimulus to open a path, to open a tunnel, to open a gateway for you, right? But the end point is all you. The walking point is all you. The points, the destination, everything keeps shifting as you shift. And you were always the same. You are all paths. Manifested, unmanifested, all is you. And you are exactly experiencing what you are meant to experience every single time for the growth of your soul. So next time, when we think about, I love somebody, no. Somebody helps us touch love within ourselves, right? The person, the trigger, the stimulus helps stimulate love within us. They help us touch that frequency of love. Love is not something I can do to somebody. Love is something I experience, I feel, I touch, and I come back. And that is always here. That is always within me. And there are some people, there are some triggers that is going to help me reach higher and higher to that point of love in my life. And there are some people who might make me fall back into the shadows. And it's on me now how I use that shadow. Am I going to use that shadow in a positive form and jump back higher? Or am I going to just stay, repel my shadows, and also go down furthermore? So love is just our supreme Lord, our master. That's love. Everything else is duty. Everything else is a trigger, a stimulus, right? A manifested world created by the mind, created by these 5 elements. Everything else is of the 5. All creation is just a projection. And the real is inside. The real is always there. Love is never absent. Only the path that you're choosing keeps changing, and depending on your vision, on your clarity, you will be able to access it or not feel it, and feel, I say it again, feel that it is absent. However, it is always present because we are that.